What's up, everybody? Welcome to With All Due Respect, your podcast show for the GFW. I almost called it the WWG again, but we haven't been the WWG in a very long time. But that's always what's
Yeah,
what
a few
wants to
years.
it's what wants to come out of the mouth. So man, it has been a while. We missed the go home show. We missed the pay-per-view. But we've already got a new chaos that's out, so we got a lot to recap here. We're not going to go back and completely recap all of it because we just don't have that kind of time. But we will recap the latest chaos that has come out, new beginnings and new faces. Lots of really good stuff kind of took place in this show. See if I can't get it to the beginning here. Just like there's so much to kind of talk about and to kind of cover. Yeah, there's a lot. So let's get started. Let me welcome in my co-host as always, Mr. Ebar. How you doing on what is it? It's Saturday. Like I'm all confused.
Yeah, man, I'm doing great this Saturday. Got off work a little bit ago and been pretty crazy. But overall, pretty good.
Good. It's been lots of really good stuff. And there's just so much that we have left to cover and that we need to go over. So let's just jump right in there. We had a really great go-home show and a really great pay-per-view, both of which had some really amazing, probably the best that we've had. Watch party. That's the word that I'm looking for. Some really great watch parties. I'm thrown off because I'm watching the opening to the chaos that we're about to cover, and I just realized you wore the wrong belt. Are you there? What happened?
You hear me?
Yeah, no, you keep cutting out. He's had some mic problems today, so if he cuts out, you guys got to work with this a little bit here. But I can hear you again. You wore the wrong belt.
Not me. That was Mr. Dustin White that put that video
Oh my God, Dustin White, wrong belt.
together. I don't know why he did that. I noticed it during the video, but yeah, wrong belt on Aiden.
I didn't notice until just now. That's freaking hilarious. So yeah, we had a really great pay-per-view. We had a really great go-home show. Let's just like briefly talk about it real quick, and then we'll dive into this latest chaos. So at the go-home show, we set up the new Intercontinental Championship. We did away with the Hardcore Championship. People just didn't want to be pushed for it. Nobody wants to play those matches for whatever reason. I'll even admit, I don't really enjoy those matches either. I think they're a fun, like, one-off match to kind of change things up. They're not a fun, like, every time that you have to be in the ring that you have to play hardcore matches. So we changed it over to an Intercontinental belt. And then we had that championship at the pay-per-view. We had a new U.S. championship that took place at the pay-per-view between Captain and Aiden. Dustin White, and remind me, who else was in that Intercontinental title reign? That was Tex, right?
Tex, yeah.
Yeah, so it was Tex and Dustin in the Intercontinental. It was, help me with some names here. My brain is completely fried today. But we had, for the Rookie Championship, we had the champion, whose name is slipping my brain, Jay Logan versus Dirk DeMoise. That's what it was, the champion Dirk DeMoise versus Jay Mack. Jay Logan left us. So Jay Mack, so the two partners went at it, and of course Dirk DeMoise stayed the rookie champion. We had the Intercontinental Championship with Dustin White came out on top with that one. That was a really great match. We had our first ever Lumberjack match here in the GFW, and that was a super fun match. It came out really, really great, and Uptown Mike came out victorious in that one. And then your match, the U.S. title match between Tex and Aiden, that was an excellent match, almost 5 stars. I think it was like
Aiden and Rufus, not Tex.
Not Tex. I thought it was Captain. Aiden and Captain.
No, it wasn't Captain either. It was Aiden and... Oh, it was Aiden.
It was Aiden Captain because Rufus was the one that is on this show. So yeah, it was Aiden Captain. It was like a 4.5-star match. It was really, really good. I thought I had you, but it didn't. You kicked out. You got me. And then, of course, the GFW Championship, still what I think is the best entrance I've ever created. But Cactus Gage comes out victorious over Jay Mack. I always get the Jay Logan and Jay Mack confused. But Captain Cactus put it to him pretty good. And that was kind of the pay-per-view. We even had a pre-show with a couple of matches that we can kind of talk about that gave us a new rookie #1 contender, who then had to be let go this past card, and we'll get to that a little later. But that sets up this past card. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, and I can give you like a really quick rundown of what is on this card. But while we do that, what did you think about the pay-per-view? What did you think about the go-home show? Kind of what were your overall thoughts of everything?
Enjoyed the pay-per-view. I think it's one of the best ones we've done so far. All of the matches we've done, you know, I kind of feel like point where we're starting to be more recognized and noticeable in these matches. So, you know, we had another Aiden versus Captain, which has always been something we've been doing that we actually tried to get away from because we noticed it was happening a lot. Captain ended up earning a title shot after all. With the Tex versus Dustin, you know, we thought it was only fair that since Tex was his title, he got the first shot at it.
Yep.
And only person that was really there, you know, Jack, who, you know, kind of surprised during the pay-per-view.
Oh, that's right. I left that out. That's right. Jack comes out after the last match and part of the new club member.
You know, he had a whole little thing to himself, but he ended up, you know, he's something. You know, I've always liked the way Jack looked and everything. I've always liked the way he's wrote. And now, you know, you got now Dustin, and Dustin's the new title holder, and Jack might get a shot. Who knows? He never got his hardcore title shot back after losing the title. You got a lot of these rookies that are showing up now. You know, you got Basham, you've got
Corgi,
you
Uptown Mike.
Had his mag. Uptown Mike. You know, Uptown Mike was incredible at all his stuff. You know, he writes really well and he likes to do a lot of stuff, which is awesome. Rufus, who has, you know, been working on that. Sure if he is, and Rufus and Wolf is the second guy.
Yep. Who will meet on this show? Oh, I think I lost you again. Oh, you're back. You're I can hear you kind of cutting in and out. But let me set up this card. This is card number 42. Had a watering hole on it. Corey Valentine versus Austin Basham. Which ended up being a really quick match. It was like under 5 minutes. Corey kind of put it to him pretty good, and Austin had a hard time, but did a really great job after riding it off. And I thought it was really something to look towards. Like, even if you lose a match, you can still come back and you can still ride it off, and you can make it a story. Dirk Demois versus Corgi, Uptown Mike versus Jack Thunder, Tex and Captain versus the Hired Guns, Dustin White and Blake Sabin. Dross Demois, which is Dirk's brother, who we got introduced to on the pay-per-view or maybe the go-home show, versus Damian Bourne. And then Aiden Steele versus Rufus Baker for the U.S. title in the main event. So that was card number 42, which is the show that is up and it's playing right now. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way and talk about Damian Bourne and Corey Valentine. These were two brand new characters that got introduced to us a couple of weeks ago. Started off really well. I had a lot of excitement for them. They were super enthusiastic. They should have had red flags at the very beginning, but there was definitely some pushback as soon as they joined, even before they got fully approved about our rules and wanting to be able to submit people instead of hitting finishers. And so we did. And I think, look, at the end of the day, it made our rules better, but we figured out a way to allow people to have submission finishers instead of just regular finishers. And then the funny thing was neither one of them did that, because I think at the end of the day they were looking to try to submit people early in matches for easy wins because the submission system sucks. But either way, they started getting really involved. They were really active, but then they started causing tons of problems and doing funny stuff in DMs and doing funky stuff in matches. You can see in this match here, They ask permission to have their to come out with each other's matches and just be on the ringside and not get involved. But then they would get involved, and like in this match, they had Damien, who's not involved in the match, actually record the match, so the perspective is off. They used the wrong ring. Like, they just didn't put forth any effort. And then at the same time, they caused trouble from the get-go. And it actually got to the point where people were saying, look, they got to go or we got to go, one or the other. And it just got so bad that I finally had to cut ties. And I sent them both messages after this show came out, just thanking them for their time and their energy and their effort. But it was not working at all, even remotely close to working. And so we moved on. Now, one of them has asked to come back. The other has not. And from what I understand, has no interest in coming back. I get him confused about who's who, but Happy is Lucky. He's the one who wants to come back. I told him we're going to have to give it a couple weeks and kind of readdress the situation. But I want to give you an opportunity. Let's just address it right up front. What'd you kind of think about these guys? And it's sad that it ended that way, but it needed to.
Yeah, it really was. Like I said, I like both the guys. They were very active. They like to play. They like to DM. But it's like I had told them from the get-go. Like even in DMs, we follow the rules. Had something to say to them, they always pushed back on everything. Like I told them when it's on this last card where apparently while and was recording outside, he walked towards the edge. Well, they did it as a triple threat match, and then he just got out the match and he recorded. Well, what happens is, because the game auto will target towards the edge, ended up actually getting forced to look at him, and while he was forced to look at him, his buddy hit a finisher on the guy and pinned him. Oh, that's something we don't do. Well, instead of being a man about it, like, hey, y'all should just do it over again, that's not how it happened. They always had to fight and argue. Single day that went by that we didn't have an argument in there. And, we have new guys that come in, and the first thing they see when they come in is just guys going at it with somebody else. And that's not what we want our area to be. And we had a lot of guys that have been with us for a while that were saying, hey, I'm not DMing them. I'm not going to have a match with them. They didn't want anything to do with them at all. Hello, Rufus. He would sit there and ask for a DM, and one of them would pop on and was like, yeah, I'm down. He's like, no, I'm good, never mind. And like he would refuse to play them because of how they played. Yep. Like I said, they both played differently than anybody else would play. I hope they have fun wherever they go, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm kind of...
Yep, look, it is what it is, and we just kind of move on. This card was actually a really good match. What's on your screen right now is Luna introducing the new tag team titles that we were starting to push, and we're really just trying to form some teams. I think that it's worth having good tag team matches on your card, at least one per show. And so we're going to really push for that to be a thing. Let me just give you a quick rundown, and then we'll kind of talk about our highlights and talk about the next card. But Corey Valentine beat Austin Basham. Dirk Demois beats Corgi the Reaper. That was a really good match. That was fun to watch. Look, Dirk probably had the upper hand in that one, but really made a good match out of it and told a good story. Corgi made a great comeback. It was one of the better matches on this card to watch. Uptown Mike DQs himself against Jack Thunder and loses. This was just, again, a great way of telling stories. They played the match, they picked the winner, but then they wanted to add in some extra things to tell a longer term story, and so they did that, and the editing was perfect on that. I'm just an Uptown Mike mark. I'm a big fan of Mackie. I love the guy. He's just been such an amazing addition here. Tex and Captain, they fall to the Hired Guns in what is, up to this point, the best tag team match that we've ever had in our league. If you want to see how we expect tag team matches to go watch that match. That was definitely a must-watch for anybody who joins here. Draws Demois, I think, fell to Damian Bourne. Do you remember that match? I'm having a hard time remembering that match.
Yeah, Damien won.
Yeah, I thought so. And is Damien happy as lucky? Do you remember, or is he Corey?
Damien is happy as lucky.
Yeah, he's the guy who wants to come back. And again, we can readjust that, but it's going to need to be a few weeks. But he falls to draws. That was a really fun match. I don't remember a bunch of the highlights, but I like draws. I like the story that he's telling there, and he just told a lot of pieces of that story in this card. And look, this is why I'm so patient with people, because look, at the very beginning of the owner of the Demois brothers, right? He owns his own league, and there was like going to be a merger, and then the merger didn't happen, and then we adjusted some rules that kind of fit them, and then they couldn't edit, and they didn't write a whole bunch, but like they now edit their own stuff, and they've been writing a whole bunch, and like he just become a really solid, great owner here, and somebody that I hope stays here for a very long time. And so that's why I'm so patient with people. And then of course in the main event, Aiden Steel beats Rufus Baker for the U.S. title. He holds on again. He has a tight grip on that U.S. title. Another really, really great match. What were kind of your highlights of this card, and what were kind of your favorite ones to watch? We didn't have a major watch party. We only had like 2 or 3 of us watch it, but I know everybody has watched it since it's come out, and it ended up being a really good show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my match with Rufus. So he is, I'll tell you straightforward, he is not here for titles.
No, he's not.
He's not.
I wish he was a little bit here for titles. Just a little bit.
I'm the same way. We kind of had a talk after our match, and I think he kind of feels like I might be a little upset with him, but I'm not. But, you know, after our match was done, he's like, I could hit you with a finisher here, and I did. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you should have. Like, you should have hit me with that. And he's like, he likes to do content.
Yeah.
He likes great shows. He makes some of the best looking calls. He's really, really creative, and that's what he wants to do. Again, I was a little upset at the beginning whenever he told me, you know, he just kind of didn't feel like hitting me with the finisher and winning. If I'm going to lose, I want to lose. I don't want you to take it easy on me. Like, me and his match was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Same thing with playing the handicap match. That handicap match was a match I really played. Me and you, we've played, not handicap, I'm saying handicap. That tag match, that's been the funnest tag match I played in a long time. Me and you used to be a tag team together, and so we kind of click and know how we play with each other. Sounded really weird, but my guy and you like to play with the way your guy plays. So being 2 heavyweights and like that, you know, they kind of just really click together. But Dustin and Blake are too good at what they do. Blake is now moved up to heavyweight, you know, and Dustin isn't. Dustin's still just Dustin how he is. You know, and those matches were really fun to me. The match was really cool. I really like watching him because he's always really out there and does really crazy stuff whenever he plays his guys. And watching his new guy, it's pretty cool to see the different fighting styles he's able to do with both of those guys.
Yeah. I think some of the little things just need to be cleaned up, right? As I kind of sent some messages out there in the pay-per-view, like there's so many, if you use Google Sheets or Google Documents, I should say, it doesn't auto spell check, grammar check for you. If you use Microsoft Word, again, it's all auto spell check, grammar check. There's free like websites and applications that are grammar check and spell check for you. I just need guys to help me with that and clean that up much better, just because it takes me hours. Like, it bogs me down for hours trying to clean up people's grammar and spelling and like little things like I've laughed at you, right? Like not capitalizing I's. I mean, that doesn't sound like a big thing, but if you're doing, you know, 4,000 word documents that have no capitalized I's, and you're having to go through one by one and manually capitalize, you know, 100 I's, like that bogs you down for hours. you know, having 2 spaces before a period or before a comma. Like, just little things like that make a big difference. And then other things I sent messages out, right? I made a new Chaos, updated the Chaos Arena. I will do another one after the next pay-per-view because I feel like we're starting to grow, get more watches, way more watches on the shows. So I'm going to put a little bit larger of a crowd in there. But you got to download the correct stuff. You know, that had people in the watering hole, like Jack right here. I love him, but he didn't use the watering hole arena, right? And so it's like little things like that we can do better on. Downloading the right arena, making sure you have the updated stuff. When you write, making sure that you're using the right characters to write with. You know, like somebody messaged me the other day. They're like, "Holy cow, Credence is a dude." I'm like, "Yeah, he has a picture and a bio up. Like, we've put in all the hard work for you. You should know who you're writing about." So that's my only big feedback is look, put in the extra work to help me clean up the writing. Make sure you write the correct arenas and you use the correct arenas. I'm still looking for some updated pictures. I know how to do them myself, but man, that is so much work. I just haven't had the time, and I haven't been able to put in the time. So if you guys can send me updated pictures of your dudes using their pose so that I could use as you see on the role plays that we put into the show, that would be a big help. And yeah, we're building to the next pay-per-view, and what I'm excited about, we can talk about it more when we get to the card, but for the next card, I hear that there are many ladies who are going to get introduced to the EFED, and maybe even the Women's Championship that can come out at the next pay-per-view. And then the other thing that I just kind of want to mention is our pay-per-views have gotten so big. We've had a pre-card match or pre-show matches, and then for this card, we left off a couple of people because there's just too many people. I'm trying to keep the normal Chaos shows to 5 matches, and then pay-per-views 7 or 8 matches, and a couple of those being pre-show matches, just because of the work. I just don't, you know, this Chaos show was over 2 hours, and that's just a regular show. Our pay-per-views were only an hour and a half just 2 months ago, right? And so it's just too much work to try to put together a 2 or 3 hour regular Chaos on a 10-day basis, and so that's why we're going to keep those to 5, which means you're not all going to be booked all the time, which is totally fine. You still can submit content. You can still submit videos and promos and role plays, and like, you can still do stuff. You can do, you know, maybe some cutscenes. Like, you can still submit things. You're just not all going to have a match every single time. We're going to try to mix it up, and as we grow and we get the ladies in here, the ladies will get a match every show. There'll be at least a tag match on every show, and then that leaves 3 other matches to tell really good stories. So the best of the best role players and stories and feuds are going to get on the show, and everybody else is going to have to work to get on the show and role play it and work some feuds, and so lots of really interesting stuff that we've got coming up.
And that's kind of how we did it with the WWG back then. Yep. We kind of didn't have enough room for everybody, and eventually 2 different shows.
And we may get there here.
You know, it'd be awesome if we did. But like, we went by off of who was doing the most work with their character, who was putting in the time, and those were the people that got spots first. And then the rest of the people, we just kind of would look at and say, okay, well, this guy didn't have a match last week, let's put him on. So the more you work with your character, the more you write with him, you know, the more you actually show us that you want to be on the show. It's been maybe 1 week that I didn't do anything for a show, and that was when I was on my cruise.
Yep, that's it.
You're the same way. You know, there hasn't been a time you haven't done at least something, whether Cactus was in a match or not. You know, Cactus has had an interview. He did Watering Hole. It's something, you know. It's just the little things you can do. Even if you're not booked, do something. Like, get with one of the guys you want to start a feud with. And, you know, be like, hey, like, I'm not on here, but I really want to write something. I want to do it really good, so now I've got 10 days to write this awesome piece. You don't have to worry about a match, because you have 10 days just to write now. Really no reason why there shouldn't be any really good writes out there, or any really good matches, I don't want anyone to sit there and be like, oh, well, I'm not getting put on the show This is my second week on the show for a second week in a row because you're not doing the work.
No, that's it. And we will mix it up. And look, a couple of people had messaged me, hey, you left this guy off, you left that guy off. Look, at the end of the day, there's only 5 matches that can go on the show, so everybody's going to not have an opportunity. Everybody's going to get some time off, right? And I purposely asked a couple of my guys to be taken off of the card. Again, you'll get your chance, but even if you're not booked, like Ebarb said, still submit some content. So this was a really good show. It was one of our best just regular chaoses. We had a watering hole. We had a, what was the hired gun segment? I forget what they called that.
I don't remember what we called it. It was just our little way of coming out and showing our titles off.
I got you. I thought you guys had called it something. But yeah, there was those 2 big segments. There was the story of Dirk and his brother, and just there's like so many really, really good things that guys are submitting and to the content that they're creating. And look, Dirk is about to move up. Like he has earned his opportunity now to go for some bigger titles, even as a rookie. No one has even really challenged him, and so he's going to get that opportunity. And there's going to be a lot of new opportunities that guys can earn for themselves. I love what not Corgi. What's the name that I'm looking for? Rufus and his characters. What's his other character that we just got introduced to in this show?
Yeah.
Wolf, that's right. Like, I love what he does in his character development. He's making graphics, as you see on Dirk's shirt. That was a graphic that he made. I love the stories that Dirk is starting to tell. I love what Uptown Mike has done. Like, these are just so many good things. We've even got some new guys here that have joined. Now, Priest, this guy, Pastor joined. He's super quiet. I haven't really heard too much from him, but look, he's got some potential. Is it Corgi's girlfriend? Somebody's girlfriend joined. I think I lost you. He's having some serious mic problems. Oh, there you go. Lost you again. But anyway, she joined. She's been super active, and she's going to help introduce some other ladies to the eFed. So just lots of really, really good things that are coming out. This was a good card. It's definitely worth watching. If you haven't got to watch this show, go do that. Put some work in and leave us some comments. That's one of the things I'd like to see us kind of pick up is leave comments either on the YouTube page or right here on our website. There's a click to comment section. Go leave us your comments because we want to hear what you thought about the show. Let's go to Chaos number 43. It's hard to believe that we're already 43 shows deep, but we are. But Luna sets up a card, match number 1, Dirk DeMoise versus Captain Alexander. That should be a really, really great match as Dirk gets an opportunity to start sticking up or stepping up to a new level of competition. The new guy, Pete, versus Aiden Steele.
Back.
Oh, you're back. Blake Sabin versus Jeff Wolf versus Alexander in a triple threat. Corgi versus Basham versus Corgi and Basham versus Tex and Rufus in round 1 of the tournament. And then your main event, there's the word I'm looking for, Jack Thunder versus Uptown Mike in the U.S. title contender match. Should be a really good one. What do you think about this card? What kind of matches are you looking forward to? What's your kind of overall thoughts of everything?
I think they're going to be great. So I really can't wait to see the Uptown Mike versus Jack. It's actually going to be, I think, the first time they actually have a match for a little while. So I can't wait to see if he's got ring rust, to be honest. Plays and what he's going to do. And, we have the tag match that we're starting off with for the titles. I think that's going to be good. We pretty much forced 2 guys together who have not really been in a tag match together. I want to see how they work out because they both have this mysterious kind of look to them. Wears the face mask, glowing eyes as he comes out, and Corgi's the whole zombie hands on the screen, a lot of smoke, all black. So they look like they would be a tag team together. That's why we kind of put them together for that. I want to take and put a guy that looks like The Undertaker and throw him in a tag match with
Uptown Mike.
You know, I want the tag teams to kind of click and even do it. And even if they don't click, you know, write about that. Write about why y'all suck as a tag team. You know, like we don't have the same fighting style. I just don't like them as a person. You know, write about why y'all lost or why y'all didn't look good in a match. You know, do something with it, however it comes out. We still haven't had that match yet. We're trying to get it in, but anytime you have 4 guys in one match, it's hard to at the same time.
Yeah, I think the match that I'm most excited about, look, Dirk D'Amours and Captain Alexander is a clash of styles. Short cruiser, small cruiserweight against the tallest guy in our EFED, who's a heavyweight. So that's going to be a big clash of styles, but should be a really good match. No spoilers, but have you played Pete? Like, have you talked to him? Have you guys communicated? He's so quiet.
So I've sent him a message the other day and told him that we need to do his FPR. And he ended up messaging me while I was at work and was telling me he was free, but I was like, man, I'm still at work. I messaged him. He was like, okay, give me a little bit. And I haven't talked to him since then. He hasn't messaged me back or anything. FDR, we still have to make sure he gets approved.
Yep.
My thing is, I'm trying to wait to see what happens. It's kind of weird that he's so quiet because apparently he was joining up with. We just removed.
Yeah.
He has the same logo on his shirt. He has the same thing. So, is he now going to stay with that, or is he going to change his character up? What's he going to do?
Yep, I don't know. So, you know, what we'll do is we're kind of talking out loud here, but, you know, if he just no-shows and we start running out of time, grab somebody who didn't maybe grab draws or whatever, grab somebody who didn't have a match and go ahead and get that. And we'll just write Pete off and we'll give him another shot. And who knows? So many people have joined and then just completely disappeared. You know, look, I hope he stays. I love that we're growing and other people have checked this out. So we'll get it one way or the other. And I think the other match that I'm really looking forward to is Jack Thunder versus Uptown Mike. Look, I'd like to see, you know, look, Jack is one of my favorite humans, right? He's on my board in the OMFL, the Madden League here. He's like one of the guys I lean on. He's one of my favorite guys. He writes great. I love his writing. But he doesn't seem to put a lot of effort into getting better. And so that's one thing I'd like to see him do, is put a little more effort into getting better at the game because he has so much potential. And so I'm interested to see what he does in this match and interested to see. Like, he's not active in our wrestling chat. He doesn't DM that I know. He doesn't do watch parties or anything. And he's super busy in our Madden League. He's also like going for his master's, just graduating. So hopefully life will lighten up a little bit for him, and he will get more involved, but that's one of the matches I'm really looking forward to. And then, the thing I think I'm most looking forward to is all these ladies I keep hearing about. Like, you've been writing about one, and Dirk has one, and like, there's supposed to be like 5 or 6 of them like floating out there. I'm really, really interested. There's so much potential that we could do here and use here. I'm really, really interested to see what's going to go. And as I said, I will start putting them on matches. I will create. We have a women's championship. Like, there's a lot that we can do, but you guys got to force my hand. And what I mean by that is you got to introduce the characters. You got to start building feuds. Luna's here. I mean, I don't want to put her in matches or any of that, but like, you could use that to kind of build into something. So when you guys start forcing my hand by introducing ladies and building some feuds, then I will definitely put together a women's title match and introduce the title. So lots of stuff that you guys can do to work towards having a women's division.
100%. You know, we got KO's girlfriend that joined, and cool looking character. She's actually made a guy and a girl. You know, kind of right now, it's I've got the girl that I made, which is actually Aiden's sister. Apparently, Dirk has made a girl. Move set and everything. Rufus has a girl also. So there's a few girls that have been made that are still in the works right now. So I figure the next 2 cards will be just kind of role play, and hopefully maybe the show right before the go home show, we could possibly try to get a girls match in. that way. I would love to have the women's title be the main event for a pay per view. I think that would be
Oh, me
awesome.
too. And I like even just thinking like we can make it a 4-way ladder match. Like we can make it a really big thing. And just guys got to force my hand, right? So let's get those characters posted. Let's get their claims, their move sets claimed, their finishers and signatures claimed. There's a lot of updating we have to do. I took a new position at work, and I'm actually working 2 jobs right now. Aiden's been busy at his new job, and so there's a lot of updating that needs to happen. I'll get to it. I promise. I'll make time over the next month or so to get to updating everything on the forums and profiles on the website. Like, I want to get that done. It's just I need a little patience with work and everything, which I'll get to here soon. But introduce those women, get them approved, start role playing, start giving us some entrances, and we'll get you your title matches, and we'll get you matches on the cards. You just gotta get things rolling.
And I will say this: you kind of said something about Jack. You know, if you watch his play style, are old rules still.
He does. I'm glad you brought that up.
He will pick a guy up and then bump him and back away. That's not how we play anymore, bud. Do not pick them up and bump them. You know, if you need a DM, we'll DM and show you the way to play now and go hardcore style and go at them than what we used to be. Yeah, like I honestly think that if he would play how we are now and realize that we have changed our rules and how to play, I think he will be a little bit better. Kind of like that in the old rules where he kind of would he was gun shy basically, you know, because a lot of guys get that way. We have I think KO and Eflo said the same thing the other night, that get finishers early or a move early. Gun shy when it comes time to do a move, they kind of get scared to hit it because they don't want to break a rule. If you break a rule, cool, you know, oh well, restart the match, do it over, it's not a big deal. You break a rule constantly, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Be gun shy, don't be scared. I mean, look at me, man. I'm not gonna lie, my matches are never perfect. Matter of fact, the match I lost against the Damien when his first singles match was because I literally did a springboard far away from me, got up and got hit with an RKO. It's the only reason he beat me. I kicked his butt that entire time. Like, everybody makes mistakes. It's not a big deal. Don't get gun shy because, oh, I don't want to hit another mistake and mess up the match. It's a match. Ain't going to do anything big. The matches that are coming up, like I said, our talent has gotten a lot better. We have added new rules and everything to where everybody, we grow because of everybody. Growing because guys want to submit people, or they want an easier way of doing tag matches or whatever. Started out from till now is complete 180 from how we started almost.
Mm-hmm.
Some job with everything. I'm loving all the way the matches come out. The girl stuff is going to look great, and I can't wait for it, to be honest.
No, me neither. Lots of really good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and use that to wrap up the show. Card number, I put 41, but it should say 43. That was my bad, and it's not a pay-per-view. It's just a regular card. Look, you know, I'm even clearly making mistakes. There's so much I'm trying to balance here. But card number 43 is out. I cannot wait to see how this wraps up. I think they have a couple of more days. I think you have until the 5th, the 8th. So you have another 6 days or so to write. I'm going to do a lot of writing tomorrow night. I know that Rufus and I are working on some things together. So if you want to write with me, I'll gladly do that. But you have till the 8th. Work with each other. Build some feuds. Get these matches in. Make sure that you download the latest Chaos Arena. When I get back from my trip, I'll start working on the next pay-per-view arena and start trying to get that out, get that ready so people can start working on their entrances and things. Because, look, that's coming out in like 30 days or whatever. We'll already be in the next pay-per-view. So start working towards that. Put in the work. As always, eBarb, it's a pleasure to have you with us. I know that we missed a couple of shows, but, man, I cannot wait to kind of get into the summer here, get through this busy season. You and I will be well into our new jobs by then, and we'll get a handle on things and get back to a regular schedule of getting these shows out. So thanks everybody who turned in today and watched. Give us a like and subscribe. Check us out at grownfolksoc.com/GFW. You can also check out our playlist on YouTube, Grown Folks Online Community. Give us a follow on Twitter, Grown Folks OC on Twitter. Give us a like, subscribe, retweet our stuff, help support what we're doing. We love that you guys are watching and enjoying it. Until next time, we'll see you. Peace.
See you guys later.